which team is most likely to disappear come playoffs?
So at first I thought this was a little hard, but then I said to myself, it's not as hard as you think. And even with the hype, because this particular team, before I even name them, they had a similar trajectory last year, and then they did disappear in my eyes per se. But it was somewhat kind of expected. So I kind of broke it down to two conferences. So
Mhm.
when I think about this, one of the teams that I feel like would disappear the quickest from the East will be the Cavaliers as it stands right now.
Okay.
I love Donovan Mitchell. I love what he's been able to do, but as we know, sometimes even to his days in Utah, he can become obsolete in some times where he needs to step up. Obviously, Darius Garland's been injured; he's going to come back eventually. But at the end of the day, that Cleveland team, if they're on, they're on. But
Mhm.
that's in the season. In the
Mhm.
playoffs, I wouldn't be surprised if they took another step to an early exit per se. Also another team that I considered, but it could be different this year now that they have OG is the Knicks, because we've seen them have not the way that they've wanted to have per se in the postseason. But with OG there, I think it's a little different as well too. But really for me, I think the one team that really just I feel like that could still disappear, honestly, because there wasn't like major changes that made me feel like Cleveland could really be that team to come out of the East. It would be the Cavaliers.
Cavaliers. Okay. I like that. That's actually a really good pick. I'm not gonna lie. Like once I think about it, it's a really good pick. But I'm gonna go with a team that I already know people that are listening at home are gonna probably be like, "What in the world are you talking about?" But remember, guys, playoff basketball and regular season basketball is two totally different things. The game is played differently. It's officiated differently. It's coached differently. It's two different things. Okay. So here's who I got for a team I think is going to disappear. It's actually the number one seed right now in the West, and that's the Minnesota Timberwolves. And
That was my West team, but go ahead.
and here's why. Here's why. Look, man. Right now they're playing with this twin tower lineup of Rudy and Cat. And it's working in the regular season. It is doing their thing. Anthony Edwards just took off. He took a leap. But my biggest concern is right now, throughout the regular season, they're playing one way, which is that Twin Towers, two big lineup.
Yep.
What's going to happen in the playoffs when Rudy Gobert gets played off the court like how he has in every single postseason he has been in? Okay, like it is not like, oh wow, like John's such a smart mind. Like, no. This is common knowledge. Okay. We have seen him get played off the court time and time again, because what does it come down to? In the playoffs, that it all comes down to matchups and switches. Okay. So
Yep.
once you get switch on Rudy Gobert, Island, watch out, Island, I'm going to work, Island work. And at some point, Chris Finch, I believe that's the Timberwolves head coach. Chris
Yep.
Finch is going to have to make a decision. And what's his decision going to be? Okay, let's take the liability off the court. Okay, cool. Let's take Rudy off the court. So now what happens? Cat has to slide to that four. I mean, Cat has to slide to that five, and he's comfortably playing in that four position right now. He likes to be in the perimeter. He's not going to be able to be in the perimeter because he's going to have to go inside.
Yep.
So it's like you're quite literally changing the entire way that you are playing. So the way that you got this first seed is by
The
catching
Twin
teams by
Towers.
is by
Yep.
catching teams by surprise with this Twin Towers lineup. Now, come playoffs, you're gonna have to play totally different. I'm not putting my money on that.
Yeah, no, and you shouldn't. And like that's why so many of you even listen to other podcasts, NBA shows. Like, yes, I think we all love and respect that Minnesota is winning, because this is a team that has kind of been, subpar, flying on the radar. What is it gonna look like? Is Cat gonna be the guy? Is Anthony Edwards gonna rise to this player that we know that he can be? And right now, they, like you said, they look really, really great. But like you said, we've also seen where Rudy Gobert, again, off of a switch, and he has to come out to the perimeter to potentially guard someone off of a pick and roll. Oh, it's a disaster. Like, that
Disaster.
backside defense is a disaster. So if that happens and they're playing teams that likely will probably game plan that way, this could be another early exit for Minnesota.